What if everything you needed, all the healing, the clarity, the empowerment was already within you, just waiting to be unlocked? Welcome to Michelle's Healing Haven podcast. Here is a space where your intuition is going to take the lead. Your transformation, let it begin. Here, dissolve those fears into trust. And healing, well, it's going to become a way of life. Thank you for being here and joining me on this journey. Before we dive in, I want to let you know that additional resources and insights from today's episode are going to be available at my blog on michelleshealinghaven.com. Check it out before or after the podcast. I will always try to put additional resources that are helpful. They could be books, it could be meditations, or just some simple information and tidbits that are very helpful. You can also sign up for my newsletter there as well. Hello and welcome back to Michelle's Healing Haven. I am super excited for this manifestation episode. It is a very misunderstood yet powerful thing that we all do, whether consciously or subconsciously. We're going to connect it to the past two episodes. So if you have not seen the energy or intuition episode, you are going to want to go check that out. We're going to break down manifestation step by step, what it is, how it works, how the energy and intuition help this tremendously, and what are some roadblocks that might hold us back. So let's get into it. Get comfortable. Highly recommend grabbing paper, journal, pen, and let's go. Let's go. Everything around us is energy. Everything. Our thoughts, our emotions, our beliefs, our bodies. The energy sends a signal out to the universe. And the universe matches that. We are always creating. And the biggest focus in this podcast is going to be, are you creating with an intention, with a conscious intention? Because if you're not, your subconscious is what's creating your entire universe. It's like the default programming. We all are creators. The moment you focus your energy, you attract something. The key is using your conscious mind and be mindful of what you are calling in. And if you can see that you're calling in something you don't prefer, you can shift and alter that. The other part is being able to align with what you are asking for. And we'll go into that more. So we're going to start with step one. So the first step is going to be asking. Oftentimes, I recommend writing down what it is you desire. What do you want? What do you desire that you don't currently have that you are looking to acquire? When you are newer to this, write everything that you're thinking down. Do not limit how the universe can give you what you're asking for. Are you limiting how something shows up for you? Here's an example. There's a trip that you would like to go on. So you're asking the universe, I would like $1,000 for this trip. What if somebody could give you the trip? What if you're going to run into somebody who's going to invite you on the trip? What you really want to focus on is the trip itself. Break down what it is you genuinely want. You really don't want the money, you want the trip. Focus on what you want and allow the universe to get what you want to you in the ways that are possible. Maybe you'll win a raffle. There's so many different ways that sometimes our minds want to control how everything is done. Our job, ask for what we want in its most concise, simplest form and follow the rest of the process. Don't worry about the how. Don't worry about the when. Don't worry about the how and when. Let the universe and the energy take care of that. So be specific for what you want. Now I'm going to talk about verbiage. Our words are powerful. There is a book by Noreen Rainier called The Practical Psychic. She is a psychic detective who solves cold cases and other cases using psychometry. Okay, I'm not going to go way into that, but she's phenomenal at what she does. And in her book, she stated something that was very profound, and it is the first time that I actually genuinely realized this. We all create from the subconscious when we are not consciously manifesting. But the subconscious does not pick up on the negative verbiage. So if you're saying in your head, I hope I don't run into so-and-so, I hope I don't, I hope I don't, your subconscious is like, I hope I run into, I hope I run into, I hope I run into. And then when you run into them, you're like, I really didn't want to run into them, damn it. So be mindful, your words are powerful. Everything that you write, you want to write without any verbiage that is not, doesn't. Cross that out. Your brain's not going to process that the way you want it to process it. When I was doing all the research for manifestation, I read a couple of books, I looked at some articles, and all of them focused on what manifestation is not. And I am not going through that list. I do not want anybody here remembering things that are incorrect. You don't want your brain picking up the nots. You want your brain picking up the is. What is this? What do I want? Focus on what you do want. That's the best advice I have so far. When you're asking, ask for what you want. Everything else is irrelevant, and leave it that way. All right, so the second part in manifestation, after you've asked, do something that allows you to feel you having it. You're gonna have to embody the feeling of it. So if you've asked about a vacation or going on that trip, what would it feel like to be on that trip? Now, there's visualizations, there's meditations, there's also vision boards. Make a vision board. You know, vision boards are great anyway because they allow you to put your energy into something. That's your energy, and you're going to get excited when you look at it. I will include a picture of my vision board on the notes on my blog for this. Do something for you that allows you to feel how it would feel to already have what you're looking for. If it's a connection, if it's a new home, if it's a new job, even if it's just healing through something, how would you feel at the other side? Meditation is probably one of the easiest things to do because it gets you into a calm state where you can feel. The desire for the item or whatever you're trying to manifest, the desire and the feeling has to be there. Your energy, your specific vibration, your emotions are going to play a key role in this. If you, again, have not checked out the energy episode, it was episode number 1, but there is a chart. The higher you can get on a chart while you're meditating or visualizing, the more success you're going to have in the version of what comes back to you that's authentic to you. The third step, your internal belief systems are going to play a huge part in how your manifestations come to you. So let's talk a little bit more about belief systems. Your belief systems are extremely important. Extremely important. And we all have belief systems. And we have belief systems that we don't even necessarily consciously think about. You believe when you sit in a chair, it's going to hold you. You believe when you get in an elevator that it's going to go up or down, or it's going to get you to a destination. There's a lot of beliefs we hold. And sometimes a manifestation isn't able to come into the 3D because of the belief system. Something within us does not resonate at the frequency because of the belief system. I'm going to use manifesting a connection as an example. Imagine that you are trying to ask for a fulfilling relationship, but the fear of abandonment is still a core wound that hasn't been looked at. Your subconscious is going to repel the deep connections and going to pull in something that isn't deep. The fear of abandonment outweighs the deep connection desire. A lot of times people even going through grief. Grief itself is almost its own portal to open new chapters. Usually surrounding grief before or after, you have this period of transformation. Grief allows the self to be broken open, and the desires from grief are so powerful and so strong. And when you turn them towards the personal healing aspect, it's going to propel you forward. The same thing is true about abandonment and other fear-based wounds that we grow up with. There's a period of time that we felt safe, we felt stable, but sometimes change triggers fear. the belief systems around fear are going to be super important to manifestation. I highly recommend affirmations. Affirmations are phenomenal. I used to write them in a notebook. I now actually write them on note cards. In fact, while recording this, I already wrote one. Anytime you have doubt, write a note card of the positive. So affirmations are a statement that you want to embody. I am a great manifester is a great one, but start repeating them daily. And what I do is I go through, I have a certain amount of note cards. I have them color coded so I know how much energy I'm giving to each part of my life. So for example, the yellow ones, they talk about me personally. I have orange ones, which talk about maybe trips that I want to go on or other growth. Green talks about my abundance. So it would be finances or bills. And then we have the pink, which is love, self-love, relationships, communication. And I put them all in a stack and I go read them multiple times a day. If I'm up meditating before I go to bed, I'm going to read them. In the morning, I'm going to read them. It takes 21 days to rewire belief systems in the brain. Your subconscious can shift, but it takes time. So manifestations also take time because the energy has to be weaved and moved. If something's not instant, that's okay. Now, there are some times that we might try to manifest something and it comes in really quick. That's because you had all the doors open. The universe was just waiting for you to ask. You might be aligned to things you don't even know. And that right there is where the intuition is going to lead in. Your intuition, your inner self, gets muffled, especially with a lot of the fear-based beliefs. Working on your belief system is going to help literally everything in your life, but it's going to help you create more and see more of what your world could be. And intuition is what leads us into the fourth step here. It's called action. Every manifestation is going to require an action. One, it could be teaching you how to receive. Some people, we don't feel comfortable receiving. Remember how I talked about that trip? You could want $1,000 for this trip. Well, what if somebody came up to you and you're like, you know what, you've been helping me so much. I owe you so much. Here, I heard you wanted this trip. I'm going to gift this to you. Do you have the ability to take it? Do you have the ability to graciously receive that in gratefulness and gratitude? The other part is following the intuition. You might get pulled to go somewhere someday. And you're like, I don't know why, but I'm gonna go. I'm being pulled to go to the store to get X, Y, or Z. I had been reading one day and I had a lot of this book left to go, and I planned to control my day and read the rest of this book. And someone sent me a message talking about an incense, and I had remembered that I wanted to go buy an incense. This was probably 2 months ago. And I was like, okay, Divine wants me to go buy the incense that I was supposed to buy a couple weeks ago and forgot. Like, I'm going to go. I ran into somebody at that store that I had met earlier that day. She was in the store searching for something because I had inspired her to go seek more information about something. The divine will have you meet people and grow when you allow it. Your intuition will guide you to the places that will answer your manifestation. Now, sometimes there are blocks that are blocking your manifestation that you're able to work through. Be mindful. Sometimes when we clear the blocks, we might not want that manifestation anymore. You are allowed to change your mind. You are allowed to think bigger. You are allowed to bring energy in a different way. With my note cards, if I don't feel like that is a priority anymore, I'm going to tear it up, and it's okay. It's okay. And some of these are going to stay for as long as I think I need them. Some of them, when I read them, my energy itself shifts. I can feel it. They make me laugh. They make me chuckle. They make me smile. They shift the energy. It is 100% possible to get to a different version of you that is more empowered, that has more intuitive following and intuitive growth. Also, you can manifest healing. You can manifest comfort. You can manifest like the next version of you, the you that you're trying to get to, the you that's peaceful, the you that's calm. So think outside the box. You don't just need to wish for 3D things. Go to the core. What's going to make you feel better? And maybe you're like, I don't know what will make me feel better, but guess what? I can manifest feeling better. Trust the universe, it'll bring it in. Now, we're going to talk about a tarot card. We're going to talk about two. We're going to talk about the Tower and the Five of Pentacles. I'll start with the Tower. The Tower is change, sudden change. Sometimes it's total destruction, but it leads to transformation. When you ask for something outside the norm, and you can embody that, anything that does not align, that is in your inner and your outer world, is going to almost be at odds with you, and that's okay. That's where people might shift out of your life so other people can come in. Jobs can shift out so new jobs can come in. Same thing with connections. Same thing with how you view yourself. We are ever-changing energetic bodies. We're not the same person twice. So be mindful. Towers happen for you, not to you. And when you can look at that, get excited. When you ask for change and then chaos ensues and like people are leaving, people are doing this, you're seeing people's real colors and you're like, oh man, I don't believe I dealt with that for so long. And allow it to dissipate because it's clearing the energy for something for you. That's 11:11 here, 11:11 on my clock. Don't normally call out times on a podcast, but that's wish fulfillment. That's wish fulfillment. 11:11, that's a magical number. One of these resources that I was looking at talked about manifestation not being magic. No, it's magical. It's magical. You are creating. Take pride in that. Be excited about it. And it's not about doing something right or wrong. It's all about which choice do you prefer? What do you prefer? If I am allowed to do any of this, the universe isn't going to let you, be a detriment to yourself. If you're really making a choice that's way off the wall, they tower you back and get you back on track. It's okay. Do it out of your authentic self. And maybe if you keep creating, say, a job, the job that you asked for, I don't like my current job. I want a new job. I want a new job. I want a new job. And they send you in a new job, but it's just like your old one. Well, what about the old one would you change? And then write the new version of that job. It does exist. You got to believe that. Could be a self-limiting belief there, but that does exist. So welcome towers, welcome change. You might not understand it in the moment, but change means you're doing something right. Something is not aligned. Why it causes the friction. The friction comes in and the tower comes in. That courage comes out. Allow yourself to be courageous. Go into that unknown path because that's what's going to give you your manifestations. My favorite part of affirmations or manifestations, I'll let the universe know, hey, universe, if there's a bigger opportunity or an opportunity that I can't see that is better, allow that to come in. I'm open. And you have to believe that you deserve it. You have to believe that you're worth it. So I challenge you right now, if thinking back on some of manifestations, if the blocks, the self-limiting beliefs, take the 30 days. Work on each thing that you're seeing. When you doubt yourself, write a positive affirmation that's going to help. How do you get rid of the fear is going to allow more manifestations to come in that are not fear-based because, mind you, you're still going to manifest things. You can still manifest them out of fear, and you're going to notice that. You'll notice that, and you'll be like, oh, okay, well, that's this. I also want to talk about a point that I feel like is very important. Who here has heard, take your power back? Take your power back. Let me give you a great example. You're asking for a lot of manifestations. You have your desires, you have your feelings. But when push comes to shove, the action you're doing is, oh, I really want to go out to do this, but so-and-so needs my help, so I'm going to help them instead. Where does your action energy go? Does it support your manifestation? Or are you giving it away to other people? Find a balance. If you are somebody who is very overgiving or has been in the past, you're going to get a lot of people that come to you and want you to be overgiving to them. That is a cycle that takes time to alter, where you give to yourself first and then you give to the other people. You're going to find that there are going to be usually conflicts that happen at the same time. Make sure you're choosing yourself in those moments. Make sure that you are focusing on yourself more than you focus on everybody else. When you give all your energy to everybody else, the universe goes, oh, she wants all of her energy going to everybody else. Let's keep putting things in her life that support that. So be mindful when you have your own boundaries and allow people in when you have the resources and or time. Find that balance. The more that you do that, the more the universe is going to give you people who are okay with your boundaries. So just be mindful that when you're bringing your power back to you, everything you think about in your brain gives power to something, whether you're thinking about the job you dislike or the connection that didn't work out or some random person that upset you while you were driving. You're giving them your energy. Pull that back to you. Find a way that changes the energy and shifts it back to you. The best advice I could give to that, remember, everything in your own universe has been created from your inner universe. Everything you interact with has a purpose for your growth, has a purpose for you. And now we're going to talk about the Five of Pentacles. The Five of Pentacles. It's a great energy to see what does not align. It's a feeling of being undervalued, alone, fear of abandonment, fear of attachment, fear of being ill or being sick. But the Five of Pentacles, it's that energy of lack. Something is missing. It's not complete. When you are manifesting change or something new, it's because what you have at that moment might not necessarily be aligned. The goal is getting that Five of Pentacles to the Nine of Pentacles. The Nine of Pentacles, she's independent. She knows her value, knows her worth. She is abundant. And it's almost like this energy of being able to give back, this graceful energy. And she's just calm and peaceful. It is the energy of thriving. Whereas the Five of Pentacles is that energy of just barely surviving, that survival mode. If you are in the Five of Pentacles more than you would like to be, focusing on getting that shifted is going to change your manifestation world. So look at the patterns around you, look at the people around you. You will start pulling in different people. You will start shifting. When you are in a lot of shifts, you're going to see yourself change. Embrace that. And this is not a time to compare to others. We're on our own journeys. But also think of a spiral staircase. It goes up. We might be repeating things, but remember, you're not repeating it from the same level you were before. You're repeating it with new wisdom, new knowledge, new growth, new experiences. So if you feel like I've been at this point 8 times, well, maybe you're on the 8th floor then. Manifestation is not us controlling the universe. It is us allowing the universe. Trust it. Dream big and trust it. I'm going to talk about another block that is very, very prominent when it comes to manifestation, and that's impatience. We tend to want to control, right? Surrendering and letting go of the control of your manifestations and trusting that the timing will be perfect is essential. That is something that has to usually be practiced. You are allowing, you are not forcing, you are allowing. There's no need to push, just allow. And I highly recommend using note cards or something that you can write down during the day, that if you have a thought that is opposite or not aligned with your manifestation, that you do one of two things. You look and say, which is not aligned with who I am authentically? Is it the mindset? Is it what I'm asking for does not align? And if you're coming back to something that you're saying, allow yourself to write down the affirmation, like worthiness. I am worthy of my desires. I trust my path. I allow what is meant for me to flow easily. And the more you say it, the more you're going to embody it. And any choices that you have, allow yourself to follow the one that's authentic to you, even if it's uncomfortable. So, we're going to talk about some ways that we can overcome some of these blocks, some simple exercises. And I'm going to restate some of the ones I talked about earlier. First of all, affirmations. Affirmations are extremely useful in the words. The words that we say are very important. So, exercise 1, affirmations. Exercise 2, which ties to exercise 1, being mindful of what you're saying throughout the day. Where's your energy going? Who's getting your energy? Are you gossiping? Gossiping is one thing that's going to give all your energy to everybody else. Where is your energy going is number 2. And reflecting on that and trying to pull more back to yourself. Even if it's just you, instead, every time you try to give the energy away, bringing out your affirmations again. Third, you can use crystals to clear that as well. They have energy. I recommend you're looking at citrine for abundance, rose quartz for self-love, amethyst for more clarity and intuition-based. There's a lot more crystals out there. I am crystal certified, but we're not going to go into all those crystals. This is not a crystals podcast, not this time. I might do one of those. Crystals are a great tool. Again, they're going to help with the energy, but they don't make your decisions for you. They do not make you do actions. You have free will. So make sure that if you're getting the same intuitive message, 4 different people come tell you the same thing, reflect on that. Energy clearing and resistance clearing can also be cleared by energy healing, such as Reiki. I am a Reiki practitioner. Reiki helps a lot, especially with things you don't know. Oftentimes, children who have been in unsafe environments might have irrational fears that they can't even remember, but their body remembers it. Clearing some of that can help with fear and anxiety. There's a lot to that, but Reiki I highly recommend as well as a modality. Again, it clears the stuck old energy, the stuff that does not align and does not serve us, but it does not make our choices. Be mindful, it still requires your active participation. I'm going to give an example here that's personal with manifestation. It's my first big manifestation. There's this lady, Vanessa, on TikTok. I will actually link one of her TikToks in my blog. And she wrote about something called the 12 Magical Nights. And this is a few years ago when I saw it. And manifestation can be magical. Treat it as such. It's beautiful. It's you creating something where you write 13 things down and give them to the universe. It's a very beautiful procedure. Well, I wrote my list a day early. I wrote it on December 19th. In there, I decided, you know what? I have never asked the universe for this before. I have never asked. But you know what? I hate this apartment. I want to buy a house. I want to move into a house. I'm just going to write that down. I didn't put much thought into it. A house. We're going to put it on the list for next year. The next morning, I got a call from a friend of mine. She lived 5 minutes away. And she's like, hey, I'm going to be moving like an hour away. I just want to let you know that. I just made that decision. Do you want to take a guess at what house I bought? I didn't even need 24 hours. Like, it worked out so perfectly. Now, I was stubborn. I tried to look at other houses and I came back to this one. I love the house. I've made it me. I feel like I've lived here forever. And I had seen this house multiple times because I used to come over here all the time for dinner. So allowing the fact that I had just asked for it, the door had probably been open for a very long time, but I asked at the right moment. Allow yourself to ask for the things that seem crazy because they're not crazy. They're not. And if they're meant for you, they're going to come in. The 12 Magical Nights is a beautiful thing for manifestation. Again, if you're interested, go check out. I will link who she is, and I will try to find one of the posts for that. But it's something that you do at Yule at the end of the year. But you can manifest anytime. It was just the first time I had experienced it and experienced it on a high level. Now, I'm going to put quotes around this, but too good to be true. A lot of times when we receive our manifestations, we think, oh, this is too good to be true. Do not let that fear of too good to be true take hold. When our manifestations come in, you're going to be wowed, and that's okay. Get excited. Another exercise is pulling a tarot card daily or an oracle card to get guidance on alignments with your manifestations, or just overall guidance for what am I allowed to see today. So for example, if I pull a tarot card and I get a Tower, I'm going to be like, cool, stop trying to control the day. There's going to be crazy things happening and it's going to be amazing. That's what I get out of that. If I pull a Five of Pentacles, I'm going to be like, okay, I need to focus on being courageous and not allowing any scarcity things to take control today. Something might challenge me. That's exciting. How you energetically transform yourself and your situations are going to allow the manifestations to increase. Lastly, a journal. Journals are phenomenal. Writing down what you feel, what you think. If you start, hey, you know what, today, I want to manifest this connection, and you get an idea. Say if you're out at the grocery store and something is like, oh my word, I know that my connection, I really don't want that interaction that I just saw. Cool. Find a positive wording of it and add it to your list. The universe around you is going to show you the things that don't align inside, and maybe the old thought patterns that you've had. Allow yourself to pay attention. It's going to guide you onto a more precise of, ooh, what do I really want? And some of us, maybe you're not used to people asking what you want. Allow yourself to be genuinely authentic to you and ask for the things that you want. It's not selfish. Ask for the things you want. Give yourself the attention. Give yourself that energy. It's your energy. You're allowed to bring your energy back to you. Because when you do that, you're able to give the energy back to others anyway. You want to be able to give from abundance. When you start moving out of intention and purpose in everything you do, you're going to ripple out so many other opportunities and so many other ideas that your manifestations are going to change. And that's okay. But remember to practice gratitude. Be grateful for everything that is coming in. Be grateful for everything that is already there. Finding gratitude in the present is one of the largest energy buckets that you can utilize for manifestation. You are a powerful creator. You are where you are supposed to be. Keep learning and growing. There is no right or wrong way to do this. There's growth. When you are authentic to yourself and picking things you do and do not prefer, you're going to allow the growth. Your energy, it's sacred. Take care of your energy. The more you do this, the more your intuition's going to guide you. Even when in the outer world, it might not make sense of how it's going to play out, you're trusting that it will play out. What you desire is valid. This is our time now for guidance from the universe. Instead of an oracle card reading, we are going to do a little bit of a tarot reading, especially since this has to do with manifestation. We're going to get some guidance. So let's see what's going on here. All right, what's the current energy that we need to be mindful of when it comes to a manifestation here? What's the current energy that we need to be mindful of? Let's see. Yes, the fear of disappointing ourselves. The fear of what if I turn this down? Maybe you have turned things down. We are constantly manifesting. Constantly. There are things that are being brought in energetically that maybe we wanted once upon a time that maybe we don't want anymore. It's okay to say no. It's okay to turn things down. Be mindful that you're not turning things down out of fear. Because I feel like there's opportunities ahead, but choose the ones that fit you. Do you want this in your life? Do you want this job? Do you want this connection? Allow yourself to be open, especially if it's change. Sometimes the change in it is very difficult. It's the biggest challenge. The Page of Swords. Sometimes I feel like we want to know everything before it happens. The energy of paying attention to everything else outside of you instead of inside of you. Maybe wondering what people think, what will happen of this. You're looking at a lot of other external things that are going to happen if you should choose or not choose something. Allow yourself to see through that. It is your decision. It is your choice. Now, the Four of Cups also talks about somebody being emotionally unavailable. Allow yourself to give emotion into your choices. Allow yourself to feel the choices. Now, I know the second episode talked about intuition. Your intuition is important because it's going to guide you. It's going to be a feeling. So don't shut that feeling down. Everything happens at the right moment. And sometimes we don't understand. Maybe you don't understand why you turned something down in the past, or where you might have thought you needed to turn it down in the past. All you can do is take it in the present. So be mindful. The things that you are starting to create now take time to come in. And you're always creating, right? What energy should they be focused on here? What's the energy that we need to be focused on? The world, yes. Completing the cycles. If you find a pattern keeps repeating in your life and it's not a pattern you're crazy about, do it a different way. Find a way to break the pattern. And it's going to be one of two things. It's either refusing something or accepting something. So allow yourself to look back and think about, okay, I'm in this situation now. I would like to be over here. How do I get there? Well, what change needs to happen? Okay. Have compassion for yourself. We're seeing the Queen of Cups here. Have compassion for yourself. Have compassion for others. Trust that other people are trying to do the same thing as you, but with their life lessons, okay? And it doesn't mean you have to accept something and stay in that spot, but there's a change that's occurring. Somebody also could be moving or thinking about moving or traveling. Anything hidden we need to know about? Anything hidden? Yeah, the Hanged Man. The hidden thing is sometimes we're not seeing the perspectives that other people are in, and it's allowing yourself to have your view, allowing them to have their view, and then seeing where you want to go with this. Have patience with yourself, okay? Have patience with yourself. When we break some of these cycles, they take time. Rewiring the brain takes 21 days, but this is even beyond that. There's a pattern change, okay? And give yourself grace because, yeah, maybe you've repeated a pattern a couple times. That's okay. Do it out of the new you. Don't get frustrated at what's coming in. All right, overall guidance here. Anything else here? The Moon. Venture into the unknown. You don't have to know how a scenario is going to play out for you to choose you, okay? You don't have to understand everything to choose you. Choosing you is a level of independence. I have the Nine of Pentacles here in the Death card. There's something changing in how you give to yourself in this. And confirmation there. If you invest in yourself at this way, okay, you're going to see the ripples of things that do fit and don't fit. You're going to be able to sit there and laugh at this, maybe a job opportunity that came in and it doesn't align with you now. You're like, why would I even want this job? Like, oh, wait, that day that I said I would do X, Y, or Z, and you're like, oh, okay. You can put it into perspective. Your challenge now is put things into a perspective, a loving perspective from you, understanding that there's not a right or wrong choice. There's an in this moment, what energy can I put forward to create where I want to go? And maybe you're like, I know that I would like change, but I don't really know where the destination is yet. That's okay, because you can allow yourself to set the energy out in motion. And when you do that, the universe will show you paths that, would inspire you or not. And you get to narrow that down. And with the Four of Cups is the main energy, you're going to be allowed to have choices. Just be mindful that you're not taking things that don't align and you're not turning away things that do align out of fear. Okay, we're going to get an oracle card for this mini reading here to close this out. What else? What's going to tie this all together here? What's tying this all together? I have a lot of major arcana, though. A lot of these cycles are probably pretty big, okay? So give yourself grace with them. This is not something that's like a quick fix, okay? Allow yourself to take an honest, reflective look at some of the patterns. We've got trust your path. If you knew you'd be supported, what would you do? This is where you make your canvas bigger. This is, I am getting the feeling of somebody not being very happy with where they're at, but they don't really know fully where they could go. Literally, a vision board. I highly suggest doing a vision board. Make it big. What would you want? Okay. Do not make your world small. And sometimes we make it small because we have to finagle, well, how would this financially work, emotionally work? Just what inspires you? What would be exciting for you to put on a vision board? I challenge you to make a vision board. I made one. I'm going to include my picture of my vision board that I did earlier this year. And it's the first time I've ever done a visual one. So I will include that. But do a vision board. Allow your imagination to run wild. That allows for manifestation energy, okay? I hope that this was helpful. We will now transition to the end, but trust your path. If you knew you would energetically be supported by the universe, what would you do? Thank you for joining me for episode 3 for this phenomenal manifestation energy here. If you enjoyed this and it resonated, follow me on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Come check out my blog. We have some resources that are going to be there, including what a vision board looks like. I'm going to get some manifestation meditations up, as well as the book that I suggested and Miss Vanessa from TikTok. I am going to put all of that on there. We also have our oracle or our tarot card spread with the oracle that will be posted as well. I will get a picture of the 9 of Pentacles and the 5 of Pentacles. I'm going to pick the 2 that speak the loudest. Allow yourself grace in this process. And I look forward to everybody joining me for episode 4. Episode 4 might be a little longer than normal. It's going to have to deal with the chakras, which are your body's energy centers. There's 7 of them. We're going to get into that and how each one holds keys to your manifestation, to your healing, to growth and the alignment for you, how to make your body feel better, how to make your mind feel better, and how to emotionally make you more connected to you. And if you are in the market for learning to be more spiritual, whether it's intuition or other spiritual gifts, the chakras hold the key to that as well. And if you're here and you are seeking a more personal approach to your own personal healing, you can learn more about my 90-day one-on-one spiritual coaching program directly on my website at michelleshealinghaven.com. You can also send in an inquiry or even schedule a discovery session for free. The button is live on my Facebook page as well as my website. To be more authentic is my goal here. So we're changing the outro. We're just going to be Michelle. If you've ever seen my tarot readings, this is me. I hope everybody has a phenomenal, phenomenal day. I will see you next time. Love, light, and positive vibes.